So today I'd like to teach on Personal Mastery 101. Now, as an executive coach and leadership speaker, I teach on a variety of topics and subjects that really have to do with the development and growth of leaders, right? So one of those topics and one of those courses and modules is called Personal Transformation and Mastery. Now, the course has to do with a journey, starting a journey of self-mastery, so that as you master yourself, you then can be effective in mastering your environment, therefore relationships, spaces, and contexts in which you live your life. So in this video, I'm going to teach on something that is called Personal Mastery 101. Basically, we're going to look at two main pillars. Number one is self-awareness. Now, there's a video on this that I've recorded. If you check on my YouTube channel and every other channel that I have, there's a video on this that I teach on, being self-aware, discovering who you are, and therefore being able to manage yourself, manage your circumstances, average your plight, and mitigate your suffering, mitigate basically your misfortunes in life, in the stormy sea of life. And then the second pillar I'm going to talk about on this video is going to be social awareness. This is where now, once you've mastered yourself, and as you continue to master yourself, becoming self-aware and therefore managing yourself, you then also in the same breath begin to learn about your environment, understand where you are, you become socially aware. As you become socially aware, you will tend to manage relationships and manage what I call contexts and spaces in which you operate, be it at work, in the society, in your business, in your sector, wherever you operate, whatever space that gives you value and where you add value, you need to be a person who is aware socially in that space, so that you are a person who is able to maintain and improve long-lasting relationships with the people in that space. So those are the main two pillars that I'm going to talk about in Personal Mastery 101. Now, what is personal mastery? So basically, personal mastery is the lifestyle, it is the discipline, the commitment that you make at a certain point in your life that you are going to not live your life unmanaged, and you're not going to live your life without a plan, without a goal. You basically submit yourself. Now, this is very important. Listen to this. Personal mastery is basically when you submit yourself to a compelling vision, a compelling future, and then you therefore become a person that will achieve that future. All right? So that is personal mastery. Now the first pillar of personal mastery is knowing yourself, right? Knowing yourself. You do not know what you do not know. Now that's very important. And therefore, because you do not know what you do not know, you therefore cannot manage that which you do not know. You cannot be, expected to manage and therefore improve what you do not know. If you are not aware how you are affecting other people with your behavior, with your words, with your decisions, it will be difficult for you to know and therefore change that behavior and improve the way you speak and improve your timing and the spaces in which you operate. So self-awareness is basically the first agenda in the business of your life, where you set out, you become curious, and you search, who are you? You discover who you are and why you were brought to planet Earth. Now, why is self-discovery so important? Because self-management is a continuous process. For you to manage self, for you to lead self, for you to discipline yourself, you need to first know about yourself. Right? Now, this is what we call in personal mastery the blind spot. Now, when you have a blind spot, and there are people, including myself, who have huge blind spots in certain areas of their lives, you then rely on two things. One, you need to be curious. You need to have the courage and be curious to ask for feedback from other people. These are the people you trust. These are the people that you know will give you the true picture of how they experience you, without being spiteful and without hate or judgment towards you. All right? So that is the first pillar. That is self-awareness. Now, self-awareness therefore leads to self-management. You begin to manage the things that you have discovered about yourself. All right? Now, secondly, the issue of being self-aware is largely dependent on whether you are willing to step out of your comfort zone and learn new things about yourself. That again will add quality to your life, the quality of knowing who you are and knowing how to manage yourself and handle yourself once you've become aware. Now, I must warn you, personal mastery is not nice. It is not a nice experience to learn about yourself. In fact, I always say that it is painful to be aware. You know when they say ignorance is bliss? Exactly. It is painful to be aware, because once you are aware, you are therefore now responsible for your actions. Now, let me go on to the second pillar of this video, Personal Mastery 101. Now, Personal Mastery 101 has a second pillar called social awareness. Now, what is social awareness? This is where you begin to learn about your surroundings. You learn about other people. You study the world you live in. You study the country you live in. You study everything about what surrounds you, so that you can then manage those networks, manage those relationships, manage those connections, and keep them like a well-oiled machines. You know, I always do this, and I was advised by one of my coaches on this, that when I go to a different city or different province, when I travel, I always go into my contacts and I check who lives in that province, and I always make sure that I let that person know, or those people know, hey, so and so, I'm going to be in the province in such and such a place for such and such a time. Please, can we have coffee? Please, can we have drinks if you have time? Now, why do I do that? Because I value relationships. I value connections. I value networks. Because it is through networks that we get our promotions. It is through networks that we get business. It is through referrals that we get contracts. It is through other people that we find even meaning in our lives, that we can connect with other people, that we can have relationships with other people, because by nature as human beings, we are gregarious creatures. We love connecting with other people. Now, the same thing goes for you to be able to discover your social settings, for you to discover the area in which you live, the networks and the spaces and the context, you need to be a person who is curious. You need to be